Okay, so what theatre song do you want? What are you thinking? Yeah, you're not getting one today. Hi folks, Harry here and welcome back to Other Worlds Than These. So, today's video is going to be my reading rush wrap-up. I'm so proud of everything I read during the reading rush. I read, I think, 2,300 pages and I'm insanely proud of that. And I read 8 books and a bit. So the bit on the end of the 8 is something that I did not show you in my vlog. So I'm excited to show you that. So I'm going to be going in order of the books that I finished. So some of them I started at different times, but I will be showing you them in the order that I finished them. So the first book that I started and finished actually was This Book Is Gay by James Dawson. This is a non-fiction book just about gay culture, and I really enjoyed this. I rated this 4 stars on Goodreads and it was very good, and I loved learning just more about gay culture, and this is definitely the kind of book that I enjoy reading. This was for my read a book in a genre that you don't read too much of and want to read more of, so I chose non-fiction and I thoroughly enjoyed this and I expected nothing less. Also, this cover is amazing. The next book that I started and finished was Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. This is the first book in a series about an assassin called Selena, and she is a teenage girl and it's just really interesting. Actually, fun fact, I have ordered a box set of the entire series, so I sense a binge coming along. This I thoroughly enjoyed. I rated this 4 stars on Goodreads as well. I would have rated it 4.5 on Goodreads if I could have. So this was the book that I chose for the read a book which is the same colour as your birthstone challenge. And my birthstone is diamond because I was born in April, and diamonds are clear, so that was quite difficult. So I just chose one that was white, so I chose Throne of Glass. So my next one was my least favourite of the week, which was The Running Man by Stephen King. I really wanted to like this because Stephen King is my favourite author, in case you guys did not know. Like, I love me some Stephen King, but this book was just not enjoyable. Like, I loved the first 50 pages or so, then it just got boring and really underwhelming, and I was just not satisfied with it. So I rated this 3 stars because I liked the beginning. So I chose this book because one of the challenges was to read a book starting with the word the, so obviously I chose this one. So the next book that I finished was Insurgent by Veronica Roth. This is a very chunky book and it's the chunkiest book on this list. This is 525 pages. This is the sequel to Divergent, and it's just following Tris and Four and Peter, just the main lot. I loved where they went with this story, and I can't wait to read Allegiance, even though that's where people say it really went down the toilet, but I thoroughly love this. This is the only book, I think, that I read that I rated 5 stars. I absolutely loved this, and I think I liked it just as much as Divergent. So I chose this because one of the challenges was to read a book that you've already seen the movie adaptation of. I had seen the movies Divergent and Insurgent. I've read Divergent but not read Insurgent, so I decided to read Insurgent for this one. So the next one I read was Holes by Louis Saka. This is another one that I've already seen the movie for. This was for my challenge to read a book entirely outside, and because this one takes place outside, I thought this would be a very appropriate book to read outside. So this one is about a boy called Stanley Yelnats whose family is said to be cursed. So he goes to a juvenile detention centre called Camp Green Lake, where there's a lot of history surrounding it, and he's forced to dig holes. And it's a very interesting story. I really, really like this. I specifically loved Stanley's relationship with Zero. I thought that was really, really good. So I rated this 4 stars, I think. So the next book that I finished was The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. This is the second chunkiest book on this list, and I did not like this. I loved the Hunger Games trilogy so much. I think I rated The Hunger Games and Catching Fire 5 stars and Mockingjay 4 stars. I loved the trilogy. This was just really disappointing. I hate Coriolanus. It was really boring and slow. It did pick up though towards the end, and I did enjoy the ending. That was the only saving grace, really. So I rated this 3 stars. I was just hoping for a little bit more. So this was for my challenge to read a book that was in a different continent to where you live. So this one is set in North America and I live in Europe/Asia, depending on your beliefs on where Cyprus is. Yeah, it was not enjoyable. So the next one that I read was One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus, and this one was for my challenge to read the first book that you touched. If you did not see my first vlog, I actually got my dad to choose between this and Warcross by Marie Lu. He randomly touched this one, so I read this one. It's got coloured edges, I love that. This one is about a student called Simon who is murdered, and it's basically just following 4 students who would never typically come together, who were in detention at the same time as him, all becoming murder suspects. This kind of had like Breakfast Club meets murder mystery sort of vibes, and I really, really enjoyed this. I rated this 4 stars on Goodreads, but the only reason why I didn't rate it 5 stars was the ending, because it was very underwhelming and very disappointing. So One of Us is Lying was actually the book that made me complete every single challenge, so I'd read 7 books by this point. But the night was still young, so I decided to read a little bit more. So I very quickly read Birthday Girl by Haruki Murakami. So this one is about a waitress on her 20th birthday, and if you've noticed, this is very short. This is literally 42 pages, and the font looks like that. So it's very easy to read. I read this in about 15 minutes. And this waitress delivers a meal to an elderly man, and he is able to grant her a birthday wish. And the funny thing about this is it's never actually stated what her wish is, you just know that she's given it. And it's sort of ambiguous in the way that you just don't know what happened, so you can interpret it however you like, and I really, really enjoyed this. And this was my first taste of Murakami's writing style, so I'm really looking forward to reading 1Q84 next month in my Big Book Readathon. My next video will be about my Big Book Readathon, so if you are interested, stay tuned. So this is a book that I did not finish, but I was reading this prior to the reading rush. This is the Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare. This is a short story collection following the life of the warlock Magnus Bane throughout history, and all of the trouble that he's got in over the years, like the hundreds of years that he's lived. And I have not yet finished this. I just read 2 stories from this book. I think it was Saving Rafael Santiago and The Fall of the Hotel du Mort, and I enjoyed these stories. I have not finished this book yet. I have about 150 pages left, I think. So I'll probably finish this today, actually. I really, really enjoy this. So once I finish this, I can move on to City of Heavenly Fire, and I'm so, so excited. Okay, so this is everything that I read during the reading rush, and I could not be more proud of myself. I thoroughly enjoyed this entire experience, even though I didn't like 2 of the books. This was just great. I loved this experience so, so much. So I hope you enjoyed the sort of 7 videos that I've made about the reading rush. If you have watched all of my vlogs and you've watched this video, please comment below, let me know that you've watched all of them. I really want to know who has watched every single reading rush video that I've made. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please leave a big fat thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more bookish videos, and turn on post notifications by ringing that bell right on Carrie's face if you want to be notified every single time I upload a new video. My Goodreads link is in the description below, as is my Instagram. I hope you've had a great day, hope tomorrow's even better, and I will see you for my next video, which is about my Big Book Readathon. So I will see you then. Goodbye.